Okay, hi there. My name is Sandy Esprit and welcome to my YouTube channel. I did a little something different. I straightened my hair and so I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and create a get ready with me video that also kind of doubles as a self-care, self-help, chatty. I'll be talking about triggers and how to overcome them as someone who has triggers and has had to deal with trauma induced triggers, I guess you could call them. You'll never be your true authentic self if you're constantly being forced to attend to, if you never deal with the stuff. I'm bubbling. Okay, start over. Hi there, my name is Sandy Esprit and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm just putting my hair back into this ponytail here. So this is a get ready with me video. I straightened my hair, but and I have some sunscreen on, a tinted sunscreen actually. I'm using the Riversol Tinted SPF. This is actually a mineral sunscreen. It's a physical sunscreen, so it is not chemical. It does not absorb the UV rays. It actually like blocks it from entering my skin. Surprisingly, really good, like no white cast. But yeah, I wanted to do a get ready with me video makeup situation where we would talk about triggers and how to overcome them, and you know, how to go about life living your best authentic self. I actually made notes, so I'm gonna go get my notebook. But before I continue, please subscribe, click like, and comment down below. You know, if you have anything you want to add to this conversation, by all means, comment down below. So I'm gonna go ahead and since I already have the sunscreen, I'm just gonna add my foundation, and I'm starting off with the MAC Prolong Wear. This is like a staple. I feel like if you are a woman of color, you have used MAC and you know about the MAC Prolong Wear. This is NW43. Love it. And so we'll start with that on the cheek. So yes, triggers, what are they? Well, triggers, when I did my research, they said that triggers are an intense emotional or physical response that you may have about an experience, a memory, a moment, an event that you may have suffered. And this emotional reaction or physical reaction to this particular memory or event, past event, is something that you cannot control. It just happens. No matter what your mood was before, when you get triggered, or when you see or when you experience a trigger or something happens to you that causes you to react, it's not, you know, it's not something that you made up in your mind. Okay, when this happens, this is how I'm gonna. It's not planned. So typically the triggers happen due to, it's like a symptom or a development from PTSD. Now, for some of us, I know that especially in our community, triggers are not something that is mentioned, right? It's typically seen as like a weakness. Like if you're triggered by something. Also, I think the word trigger has also been misused a lot. Like a lot of people say it. So I feel like a lot of people don't really know what the real meaning of triggers are. But that's what it is. It's just an emotional response, an intense emotion usually felt when a situation arises due to a past memory, event, or experience that you may have suffered. And I know that a lot of us have gone through pretty rough lives, like pretty rough childhoods. Some of us have been blessed. We've come out unscathed and we have nothing but good things. And we thank God for that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But like someone like myself, I know that my childhood has had series of events and experiences that now I'm dealing with the triggers of it all. And you know, whatever your situation may be, whatever you may have come from, I just want to really take a moment and say that this is not the end. Your past does not define you. And even though you might feel like it's holding you back because you're playing catch up, I completely understand that. Just because you may feel that way, that doesn't mean it's actually true. And there is help available, and there is hope for you, and you can still be the person you've always wanted to be. Be that person that you envision yourself of being. Next, I'm going to be using the Tarte Creaseless concealer. I made notes so that I would not forget. It's all written here. So yeah, so that's what emotional triggers are, and often associated with PTSD. So, personally, like I've had to deal with, you know, my own set of triggers, especially after I had children, and react in a particular kind of way. And I didn't like that about myself. I really hated the fact that I was becoming irritated and I was having this intense emotional response to something that rightfully they should be doing. They are children. That's what children do. Children act like children. I pretty much decided that I was gonna go and get help. I could not afford a therapist, and I cannot afford a therapist. Therapists are expensive here in Canada. I strongly encourage anyone who can get therapy to go and get therapy. If you can afford therapy, by all means do so. If you can make the sacrifice, like, you can go and get a therapist. Go talk to somebody. Get it all figured out. I didn't have the funds for it. Like, kids are expensive. I was newly married. Everything that I was told would happen was not happening. In fact, I felt miserable. So I decided to research and really kind of make myself really become self-aware of what was happening to me, what I was feeling. And so I began to do self-therapy. I heard an influencer talk about self-therapy, and that's pretty much, you know, doing therapy by yourself. And it required a lot of journaling, and even having honest conversations with my husband, since he was the one with me the most of the time, and really seeing his point of view as to what was happening to me, or what he was seeing was happening, like, yeah, what was happening to me. Oh, I'm gonna fill in my brows with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Mini DIPBROW Gel. But yeah, I just really decided that I wanted to change, and I really felt like my daughters deserved a mother who was present. And I wanted to be a mom who was present and not triggered, because they didn't ask to be here, so they shouldn't have to put up with my mess. And I feel like that's something that the previous generation, like our parents, due to lack of education and then information and a whole lot of misinformation, never really got a hold of, was being made accountable to themselves about their triggers. And, you know, being like, yo, you might need to fix that. The whole idea of that's just how I am is not cutting it. And just because that's how you are, like, you're causing more damage and more trauma. Like, now you're the one inducing trauma and creating triggers that, you know, the children don't see until, you know, it's manifested 30 years from now. As kids, you know, I thought I was okay. I thought I was handling it. I thought my life was normal. And now I'm older and I'm like, there was absolutely nothing normal about my life as a child. So I'm playing catch up. I had to identify my triggers. That was the first thing. What is causing this deep emotional irritation? Like, when this happened, when they do that, I get scared, or I shut down, or I get really defensive, and I get really mean. Like, where is that coming from? Why do I feel like when someone is expressing genuine love, I get afraid? Why is it that when somebody is showing genuine appreciation, I instantly have my walls up and I'm just like, okay, you're gonna hurt me at some point, so let me just back away. That's not normal. There's absolutely nothing normal about that kind of response. I know some people, they just, when they're dealing with confrontation, they shut down and they start crying and they can't express themselves the way they would love to. because it's a trigger, you know, we're taught certain things. So like, yeah, the first thing I had to do for sure was identify the triggers. That's the first thing you're definitely gonna want to do, is to identify your triggers. So next I'm gonna be using the Mented Everyday Eyeshadow Palette. And I'm just gonna create like a basic look with maybe 2 different colors. Using the Eco Tools, this is the crease brush. I'm gonna go in and use this color here at the bottom, this one here. Kind of create this V. Listen, I grew up as a millennial. I was taught the V. I haven't lost it, and I'ma use it till that's the hill I'm gonna ride on. The V to create the base of the smoky eye. I don't know if anybody's still using that, but that's my thing. That's what I use. I have hooded eyes, so. Anywho, so yeah, identify your triggers. The other thing is also identify the physical symptoms. I used to get really, well, I do sometimes, I still get them, anxiety attacks and panic attacks. And I bite my nails a lot when I get really nervous. I pick on my fingers. I don't know if that's like a trigger, but that's what I do. But yeah, like identifies physical symptoms. I know for me, when things get really, really bad, I feel my face get red. My heart starts to beat really, really fast. I get sweaty and my vision gets blurry. I don't know if that's just like a me thing, but I find like, especially if I get like really upset, with, I don't know, like if I feel like, for example, somebody's like overstepping their boundaries when it comes to like my, not necessarily my kids, but like my identity. Like if somebody's trying to shut me down or gaslight me, I tend to get really just irritated, and even if it's like a joke, and that it stems from childhood, always feeling like I was not important. Like my thoughts were not important, that I wasn't worth being listened to. So, and trying now to be heard as an adult is like a really huge thing. Even though I am heard as an adult, I still find that I'm like, am I being heard as an adult? I'm sure somebody somewhere can identify with what I'm saying. Next, I'm gonna use this here and this random eyeshadow brush here to fill in the rest of my crease. Yeah, identifying the physical symptoms, because if you can identify your physical symptoms, then you'll know. Sometimes we're triggered. Like I didn't know I was triggered. There were times I would get really upset and I would just go 0 to 100 very, very quickly, not realizing that I was kind of out of it, like overreacting. And you'll hear that a lot, like, oh, why are you overreacting? It's not that deep. It's not that deep to you, but there's an underlying issue and I'm feeling ways that make no sense to the average person. That to me, it is just why, you know? And simply because of a trigger. So identifying the physical symptoms, like identifying what is happening to me right now. Like take a step and figure out like what is happening to me right now. Okay, my heart is beating. My face is getting red. I'm not able to think clearly. And what that does, it allows you a moment to stop and think like, whoa, let's take a breather. Maybe I'm overreacting. Not necessarily like maybe I'm overreacting, but like just it gives you a chance to just stop and analyze yourself before you do something that maybe you shouldn't be doing, right? So yeah, so take a step back, and this is where this part here I find is the one where you really need I hope you have like a strong support system or a good set of friends, because this one is really necessary. I'm also going to take this color here and put near the front. This here is really important for those of us with friends, because, and I'm talking about like good friends, not the ones who are just going to be like, yeah, that's it, girl, do what you got to do, be crazy, slash his tires, he shouldn't have called you I don't know. He shouldn't have said your shoes look ugly. I don't know what it is. I don't know why you slash somebody's tires because of that. But hey, that could be a trigger. I was, where am I going with all this? Don't slash tires, y'all. Don't do that. Yes, this is where it's really, this is the really important part in terms of being able to be aware, being self-aware with yourself. And it's gonna take some curiosity and some boldness to go into places that in your past you may not want to. But this is where you'll want to find the source. What is the real reason for your reaction? You know, somebody calls your shoes ugly, you slash his tires. Why? And chances are it's not about what that person said in the moment. Most likely it has to do with something that someone did or someone did over and over again back in the day for a while. And now you're lashing out because you were not able to stand up for yourself back then. But now you've grown and now you are. And for me, that was the big thing, is finding the source of these intense emotional responses. Why am I feeling this way when nobody else seems to see it? Like, everybody else is just chilling and cool, and I'm just like, I'm ready to go. And really is because back then I could not defend myself. Back then I was shut up. But now I'm grown. Now I'm big. I'm a grown woman. I could say something. You know what I mean? Like, so find the source and deal with the source. And sometimes the source sucks. Sometimes it has to do with a repressed memory. Sometimes it has to do with an experience that we thought we were over, but we're not. And it's not a fun journey. That's the part that absolutely I wish more people would talk about. Sometimes, most times, it's not something that can just be prayed about. It's not something that can just be renounced and rebuked. And sometimes it really has to do with a whole lot of digging and being like, oh, I've never dealt with that moment. I've never dealt with that situation. I never dealt with that word that was spoken to me. I never dealt with the action that was done against me. And that part is painful because you have a choice to make. There's forgiveness. Sometimes it's ourselves. We got to forgive ourselves for the things we didn't know, for the ignorance, for the boundaries that we crossed that we didn't know we crossed, for the boundaries that was crossed against us, for not speaking up. Like, a lot of times I know I've had to forgive myself for not speaking up at a point in time where I wasn't able to speak up. I had no right to speak up. I didn't have the voice, the size to speak up. And listen, everybody's got their own thing. I know it's different for everyone, but finding that source is key to healing. It's the key. It's that door you walk through that allows you to make that choice of, am I going to heal and be better? Am I going to make a conscious effort to change so that I can stop this? I can stop the bleeding. Or am I just going to accept my fate as it is and remain a victim of my past? Just saying. So for contour bronzing, I'm going to be using the Nude Beauty. Thank you so much, guys, for sending this to me. This is their No Limits Courage. I love this. I have the matte bronzer in Strength, and this is Courage, because it requires courage to address the issues of the past. Like, it is no joke, guys. No, it's not something that should be taken lightly. It's definitely a hero work, and you might need some help for that, and that's okay. Or you might be able to do it by yourself. I love how easy I can apply this. Oh my gosh, where have you been my whole life? I think we're ready to blend. Courage. You'll need courage. This is not, listen, healing and dealing with triggers is not for the weak. You will cry. You will get angry. There's a lot that goes into it that not many people talk about. And I'm here to spill all the tea. I'm going to use my angle contour brush and just to, blend that out. And it's a cream-based stick bronzer. It's so pretty. Look. Now, this is not as deep as the Strength one. This is Courage. But look at how pretty that is, and easy blends in. I'm not going in with a heavy hand at all. And a little bit goes a long way. I just really like the way it blends into my skin. Like, it's just really nice cream based. And I'm usually very scared of cream, anything cream, to be honest. So yeah, definitely courage. I can't get over how timely this is. And I believe in all of you watching this, that you are able to overcome everything, that you've already overcome so much. This next portion of your life is just another stepping stone for you. Another stepping stone. There's absolutely nothing you can't do, and healing from the past so that you could be your best self is literally just the next part here. Definitely talk. Be open-minded. Talk. Listen, if you have a good support system and you have people that love you, they are not going to give you information to make you feel like this small. They want to see you grow. They want to see you succeed. And when I'm talking about your loved ones, I'm not talking about the ones that abuse you and the one that just keep taking advantage of you, okay? Like, please guys, stay away from toxic people. Hold your boundaries down. I'm talking about the ones that actually are there for you, that are down for you, that are constantly encouraging you and want you to be your best self. Those are the ones you should be talking to in terms of like what they see. If they tell you, hey, I don't like the way you're talking, or I don't like the way you're acting, or why is it that you act this way? I'm sure you have those kinds of friends that are like, why do you always react this way when I say this, or when I do this, or when so-and-so does this? Those are the kinds of people that you really want to talk to and like be open-minded about them. And if you notice something that's off, you can also ask them too, like, hey, do you notice that maybe I'm a little extreme, or maybe it's like a little weird? You know, loved ones, guys, your support system. My husband I go to all the time, my husband and my sister. Those are the two people I know I can count on that'll tell me the real. Do you think I'm a little crazy when I did this? Yes or no? And they'll tell me straight up, yeah. Like, that's how it is. That's how it should be. Don't be afraid of the truth. Because the truth, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. You cannot be set free if you're in ignorance. Ignorance is bliss, but ignorance does not keep you from the consequences of your own actions, or the consequences of your own demise, or the ignorance of your own past. Like, honestly, it's such a good feeling to know that you're on a path to be better, when you're actually on a path to be better, as opposed to, I'm a doom me, that's just how I am kind of mentality. That mentality is not going to get you nowhere. That mentality is going to keep you trapped. That mentality is going to keep you blaming everybody else. That mentality is going to keep you from being your true, authentic self. That person that has fire and life and just sees the world in such a beautiful way and has so much to offer and give. I know you want to get back to that. That's the reason why I did it, because I wanted my kids to meet that person. I wanted my children to meet and see that person, that kid that was always full of life, that had so much to give and so much positivity and goodness, and, you know, as opposed to the person. That person sucks. I don't even like her. I don't even know why she comes out like I do now, but this sucks. When my husband shouldn't have to deal with things that he didn't do. Oh, I'm using the e.l.f. blush, Always Rosy. It's not their fault. People were mean to me. It's not. For sure. Talk to your friends and your loved ones. Get yourself a good support system. People who love you, and actually want the best for you. And then another thing that I've been loving lately is the Luminizer. This is from Burt's Bees. This is Golden Hour. I just love this highlighting. It's a liquid. Put a bit of it on my cheekbones, and it's just like on the highest points of my cheekbone. It's just such a beautiful highlighter, and a little bit goes a long way, yo. This is your golden hour. Let the sun shine on you and let it illuminate your soul. Definitely golden hour. This is your golden hour. This is the part of your journey where you get to shine authentically, unapologetically. And you might need help with that. Listen, if you need a therapist, by all means, please get the therapist. Sometimes we can do it on our own, sometimes we can't. And that's okay. Listen, if you're a Christian, Jesus and therapy is not going to send you to hell, okay? Just because you have therapy does not mean you have no faith. We need to cut that out. Cut the nonsense. Let people get help. Let them seek help and get it. Okay? Like, we're allowed to get help, and we're allowed to be healed, And healing sometimes requires a doctor and somebody who knows nothing about us to provide us with an objective perspective. It's not going to kill you. In fact, it's going to make you better. I know for me personally, it's still an ongoing thing. Healing isn't linear. There are days, I have my good days and I have my bad days. I'm using this here is the L'Oreal Lenoir eyeliner, and it's like a felt thin tip. And it's just going to be a simple, wait, am I even going to bother with this or, because I can't even see. No, I'm not going to bother with this. I can't see. I can't even see what I'm doing. I'm out here just trying to make it work. I'm just gonna go straight to mascara. But before I do, I'm gonna lock and last. Dermablend, lock and last. And personally, honestly, the thing that have worked for me was really talking it out, journaling, journal, and meditate. Pray, meditate, breathe. Learn to take a step back and breathe. When you feel yourself getting worked up before you, and you know there's that moment, it's like a split second. It's not a long moment, it's a split second. That goes from like unleashed to leashed. It's like the split, there's that fine line before. Start to analyze, okay, what's happening and what am I feeling, and take a step back while you still can, okay? And if you, listen, if you fail, get up, try again. And the more you work at it, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And the easier it is to handle them and to address the issues and to deal with the reasonings as to why your reactions may be a little intense. Just because you were hurt does not mean you get to hurt others. Okay? You can't tell me that you're out here stopping all kinds of general curses and generational traumas and you haven't dealt with one trauma. If you're not dealing with your traumas, if you're not addressing your past traumas, you are not stopping a thing. I am sorry to tell you, but this is the honest truth. Address the issue because we need to do better. Our children deserve better. And most importantly, because you deserve better. You deserve to live. You deserve to live free. You deserve to live without fear, without shame, without hiding who you really are. And whoever told you different, okay, doesn't deserve the space to hold you captive with their words. Don't give them that satisfaction. All right, so to finish off, I'm going to use the Burt's Bees Squeezy Tube. This is Summer Melon. Ooh, cute. Tinted Squeezy Tube. Ooh, smells so good. It's like feels like it's nice. It's lightly pigmented. It's a nice everyday casual summer look. And let's see with the hair down, what is it giving? Do I want to keep my hair fluffy out and down? I don't know. I straighten my hair, but I feel like all I'm going to do is leave it in a bun because I can't trust it. But yeah, I straightened it, blow dried it, straightened it, and that's the best I could do. But I retained the length. I actually cut some of it off because the damage was apparent. I don't even know if I did a good job, but I wasn't afraid and I retained most of my length. This is what it is. This is what I got. Volume and all. Textured, straightened hair. So yeah, that is it for my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. And if you know someone who could benefit from this particular chat, by all means, share it with them or tag them down below. And if there's anything I missed, listen, if there is an advice or anything that I missed, by all means, put it in the comments down below. Because I'm still learning, I'm still healing. Healing is not linear. I have my good days, I have my bad days. But the triggers are easier to handle. I don't have as many panic attacks as I used to. And I'm better able to identify the triggers now, which makes life so much more easier and pleasant to deal with. Is not what we on at the end of the day. So yeah, I hope you're having a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. See you later. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and all that good stuff. Ciao for now.